All right, cheese ball time, part 2. Here we go. Let's do it. I'm very excited. Yo! Hello. We're talking about cheese balls again today. What's going on, guys? It's Tyler here, and it is 9:30 in the a.m., and it is time for Cheese Balls Part 2 with my kid Boo screensaver in the back of my phone. That was a rhyme that not many rappers could achieve. But here we go. Yes, so today's video, we're going to be talking about the cheese balls again and why. You would think I already went through the trouble of the cheese ball kerfuffle. Oh my god, I got straight bars like I'm Hershey, but we're not talking about chocolate. We're going to pop, lock, and drop it. So cheese balls, where are we talking about these again? Well, if you watched my cheese ball video, you know that I had some issues with cheese balls. I also have some Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer action going right now with my nose because I got a pimple there under the skin. Cannot pop the thing to save my life. It hurts like hell. But nonetheless, here we are. So here's the issue I have with the cheese balls. In the previous video I made, I blasted Planters and I killed Baby Nut. How come you have the same product, different serial numbers, are totally different products, but they're still, you know, advertised as the same thing? If you buy a can of cheese balls, it could be good. If you buy them, they could be bad. If you don't know to look for the serial numbers, you're like, man, these cheese balls have really changed all of a sudden, and then you probably stop buying them. No, if you know to look for the correct ones, it's not that big of a deal. And my question to planners is, why does this exist? Are the ones that taste terrible cheaper, and you guys are going to the cheap ones from now on? And we're just like going to be stuck with cheap cheese balls forever here? Just to get my point across here, I just put 2 peanuts on that cardboard box and they're going down. Ooh. With the pellet gun. And why did I do that? Well, they're messing with our cheese balls. They had 2 different types of these cheese balls on the bottom. I'll show you some footage from my last video. So there was an XPZ4 cheese ball and a GPP2 cheese ball. That was on the bottom of the can, and I showed you guys that, and I showed you the difference and talked about how much they tasted, and I showed other reviews of people like on Amazon that were getting the same can of cheese balls, but they had different serial numbers and tasted totally different. And it was really pissing me off because I was, you know, trying to eat a consistent cheese ball here, not just like all over the place with my cheese balls. Well, I went to Target recently, and there is a 3rd serial number cheese ball here, and we're going to cover it because I got nothing else better to do with my boring life. And Planters is trying to get one over on it. So when I killed Baby Nut, I think when I killed Baby Nut, I shot him with the pellet and the nut exploded. I think all those peanuts fell to the ground and created like hundreds of peanut plants in my backyard that must have grown, sprouted overnight, created a new warehouse, created a new factory, and made new cheese balls just to try to piss me off. I think that's what happened, because these cheese balls now are like a mix of the previous 2. The XPZ4 ones were very small, very orange, and they had all these little holes in them, very like you're getting ripped off almost. Like it's like the moon had a bunch of craters. That's like what it was. It was like the XPZ4 cheese balls had like craters in them, and they're very airy. They didn't have as much flavor. They tasted kind of crappy. The GPP2 were melt in your mouth, you would bite into them, and you would taste like it's this oily, greasy goodness that's disgusting and terrible for you. And it's the reason why I gained like 20 pounds in the quarantine. Now, with that being said, these ones are a mix of the 2. I got a can that I opened and tried here, and then I got a second can that is unopened because I want to show you guys. Now, if you remember, the XPZ4 cheese balls were a lot smaller than the GPP2, so the bad ones were smaller than the good ones. Now, the reason that's important is because you're paying for the same product that you're getting way less in the container. When people would open up the XPZ4, there'd be like that much room in the container. The cheese balls would maybe be like 3/4 of the way into the canister, whereas the GPP2 were a lot bigger of a cheese ball. They fill up the area. You feel like you're getting more. And you technically might actually have been getting more with XPZ4 cheese balls because they're little, but there's more of them. But they don't taste as good, so what's the point? Now, here is where they went wrong. They made these new cheese balls. I'm going to open up a fresh container for you right here. Planters is trying to screw us over of a good cheese ball. They will just not make the GPP2 ones. They want to make every other kind but those. So here we go. Fresh canister. Check it out. Boom. You open it up. cheese balls all the way to the top. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Those look great. Those look so scrumptious. It's 9:30 in the morning. I'm going to have those for breakfast. It's probably what you're thinking. It's not what you're thinking. That's what I'm thinking, because that's what I'm about to do. Don't want them. It's gross, but I got to make this video, so we're doing it. But if you actually look at the cheese ball here, and I don't have any of the other ones to compare, but I did have them in my previous video. As you can see, oh, makeup review time. Makeup review check. Okay, see that like big ass hole, these holes there in the cheese ball? I don't know if you guys see that, but there's like craters everywhere in the cheese ball. I'm terrible at the makeup review thing. There we go. I don't know if you guys see that, but there's like craters everywhere in the cheese ball. Like, it's not the same cheese ball that the GPP2 ones were that are good. But they tricked us. They made them bigger. Essentially what they did was they took the crappy cheese balls and just made them bigger. That way you think you're getting the good ones, and also you think that, like, mentally they're trying to get you, oh, it's going to taste the same. They're bigger so that it can taste the same. But if you taste it, it's off. Way off. They taste like the small ones. They're way more salty, but not in a good way. They have like less of the greasy, oily cheese flavor. It tastes just more like a Cheeto, which the cheese balls did not have like a Cheeto taste. It was more of like almost a fancier Cheeto, if that makes any sense. The good ones, the GPP2 cheese balls. These ones have like a really, like, look at that big hole in there. Do you see that? I don't even know if I can get to focus, but look at the hole in there. Like, the good ones did not have all those craters. So, that mixed with the fact that they're called XGP2, ladies and gentlemen, Planters is trying to get one over on us. Not only did they try to make the cheese balls bigger, but cheaper, because I'm assuming that the smaller, little crappy ones are cheaper to make because they don't taste as good. So they went the cheap route by using the cheap recipe, and then they realized, oh wow, there's a big difference between the color and the size. So what we're going to do is, I feel like these aren't actually as bright orange as the XPZ4, the previous bad ones. I feel like they lightened the color a little bit, made them a little bigger to make them seem like they're more closer to the GPP2 cheese ball. But they're not. These are basically the XPZ4 cheese ball made bigger to look like the GPP2. It's an imposter. They are trying to trick us. They even mixed the serial numbers together. You got XPZ4, GPP2, oh, XGP2. Planters is trying to deceive us, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be honest with you. It's kind of irritating me right now. How hard is it, Planters, to make a good cheese ball? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I finished my last canister of cheese balls like 3 weeks ago. I saw these at Target. My thing now, every time we go to Target, I check the cheese ball numbers just because I'm mentally ill like that. And I was shocked to find a new one. I was like, oh my god. I couldn't wait to get home and try it because I want to know what Planters had up their sleeve right now. I should have known what Planters had up their sleeve right now is not good. And I'm going to get to the bottom of this and I don't care who's on top. I think I said that in the last video, but I really don't care who's on top. CEO of Planets. I looked for the CEO of Planters on Google. And I came up with the CEO of Planets, Bill Nye the Science Guy. So if you ever are looking up at Jupiter and you're thinking, man, who's your CEO? Just think, Bill Nye the Science Guy. That was awful. Elizabeth McCoy, CEO of Planters. I see your LinkedIn profile. Look at this old hag. She makes me sick. Look at her. Elizabeth McCoy, President and CEO at Planters Bank. Okay, maybe I should have continued reading before I started calling her an old hag. Not the same Planters, this is a bank. I'm looking for Planters nuts. I'm sorry, Elizabeth McCoy. I apologize. Is Planters owned by Kraft? Okay, it's Kraft. Kraft bought Planters in 2015. This man right here, Miguel Patricio, President and CEO or something like that, CEO of Kraft Heinz Company. You bought Planters in 2015, which means that means these cheese balls didn't come out until 2017, I believe, when they brought them back. So you know what that means? That means they came back under your discretion. This isn't something Planters was working on before they got bought by Kraft, which means this is 100% on your back, on your shoulders, I guess would be better. But you brought these back, and then you decided to go cheap on them twice. Why did you do that? You're a coward. If you don't make a video response to me within 24 hours, you're a coward, and I guarantee you wouldn't want to meet me on the streets because I got. And that's not a threat, that's a promise from the CEO of Not Much Muscle Incorporated. So, Miguel Patricio, I'll see you on the streets, I guess, if you ever. God, I need a haircut. My hair's looking bad. But if you're ever coming through Sacramento, watch out, because I got my shooters, and they're going to shoot. Maybe I shouldn't be threatening him. Maybe I'll go a softer route. Miguel Patricio, make a video response in 24 hours telling me why you decided to cheap out on the Planters cheese balls. If you do not, you are a coward, and you will forever be the person I dislike the most in life. If I get run over by somebody driving a dump truck, I'd be more mad at you still than them. So, that's the video, guys. If you like the video, give it a like. I know it's probably a whole lot of nothing in most of your guys' eyes. It's really a whole lot of nothing in my eyes, too. I mean, I could just never eat the cheese balls again and drop it, but I just don't get why they keep changing the recipe. What are you doing? It dumbfounds me why they keep changing the recipe. I just don't get it. You have something good, keep it. So, anyways, that's it. Talk to you guys in the next one. Give the video a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you're new here. Not every video is about cheese balls, but if this video gets enough love, they might all be about cheese balls from now on. So, talk to you in the next one. Or maybe not. Maybe you're going to unsubscribe. I'm not going to lie. I would unsubscribe too if this guy just made a video about cheese balls all the time.